Welcome to the dashboard system at the University of Kansas. Here, we try to connect effective writing strategies with technology solutions to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of writing for all learners, especially those with disabilities. Today, we'll focus in on an app called Inspiration, how it supports interactive graphic organizers, and a writing strategy called STOP. STOP is a strategy used frequently with the Self-Regulated Strategy Development, or SRSD model by Stephen Graham and Karen Harris. STOP is an acronym and has 4 basic elements. These elements include S for suspends judgment. Students are asked to list the points for both sides of an argument and consider all possible sides. T stands for take a side and asks students to read through the list of points for both sides and determine which side they believe is more persuasive. Then the O stands for organize and encourages students to organize their ideas and select the strongest ones, often numbering them in order of importance. Finally, P reminds them to continually plan as they write and potentially utilize other strategies to support the drafting, editing, and revising process. As you go through this video, you'll see an interconnection between the Inspiration app, the use of interactive graphic organizers, and these 4 elements of the STOP strategy. So today we're going to use an app called Inspiration, and I'm going to show you how you could use it with the STOP strategy. What we know about the STOP strategy is it supports persuasive writing. So I'm going to go into the Inspiration templates and find one of the templates for persuasive writing. So I'm going to go into this templates area, and then I'm just going to scroll down through the templates, come down, and there is a pretty cool one here that's called History, Issue, and Analysis. And for our purposes today, we're going to tweak this particular template to make it work for our use. So I'm just going to click on the Use Template button, and here it comes. And I'm just going to close some of these instructions. So the first thing it asks for is a question or an issue. And today the students are going to be looking at the issue of owning exotic animals as pets. So should exotic animals be pets? So the first part of the STOP strategy is the S, which is to suspend judgment. And it asks students to list both sides of the argument. Now our template right now isn't really Common Core ready, so we're going to make some edits so that the students can list both sides of an argument and use Common Core vocabulary. So instead of pro, we're just going to shift that and say evidence for, and then the con is going to be evidence against. And that just helps us. Common Core talks about claims and evidence and arguments, and we want to make sure we use that in our template. So we're going to click on the first box under evidence for, and you can do that by double clicking to get the cursor in there. And we're going to say they are pretty cute. That's something a middle schooler might say. They are pretty cute. It would be fun. Now let's move over to the evidence against. Now the idea is that the students have been reading an article on owning exotic pets. I have been using the National Geographic article on exotic pet ownership, and you can find that online. You can Google it. It's pretty easy to locate. But for the first evidence against, they talk in the article about how the animals are dangerous. They're dangerous for their owners, and they're dangerous for their neighbors, etc. And the students can keep on listing the evidence for and the evidence against this particular topic at this point. I would encourage them to go through the article and continue listing. Now, for our purposes and for demonstrating this app today, I'm going to actually go up to the arrow in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm going to scroll down to one that I have already pre-filled, and that just kind of helps expedite things. And you'll see I've put evidence for and against on all sides. This final analysis piece, again, for Common Core lingo, we're going to call that the claim. So instead of final analysis, we'll say my claim. And this is asking the students to take a side, because the S in STOP was suspend judgment. They had to list the evidence for and the evidence against. The T in STOP is to take a side. And so this is where they actually have to make a claim. They have to pick one of these columns and make their claim. My claim is, I do not think exotic animals should be pets. That is my claim. So we've suspended judgment, the S, we've taken aside the T, and now we have to move into the O, which is to organize ideas. And often it's encouraged that by organizing the ideas, you also number the ideas. So first, I'm going to organize the ideas on the evidence against column in the ones that I think are most important. For me, dangerous instincts is one that needs to be at the very top. So I'm just going to click on it and drag it up. And then expensive to maintain, that is an important one, but I think it's probably of all the least important. And then I think this notion of average people don't know how to care for the exotic animals is probably the second one for me. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and go in and number them. And reason being, when you export this into the outline version, and you want to put it maybe even in a co-writer or another writing app, it's nice to have these numbers. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have organized our ideas, and that means we get to move on to the P in STOP, which is plan as you write. Now, there are a lot of ways I think that you can plan as you write. One way that SRSD encourages is to continue to plan as they write, go back to the outline and refer to it, always make edits and changes, don't be afraid to change your work. But also, they encourage the use of the DARE strategy. So there's STOP and then there's DARE. STOP is for organizing ideas and getting the writing process started, and DARE is to kind of help fluidly write an essay. And you can watch another video for DARE if you're interested in that. Inspiration can support the P part of the STOP strategy by encouraging students to write more about their notes or about the evidence that they've collected. So for instance, what you can do is click on the dangerous instincts. That's the first box I click on. And the top left, you'll see a rectangle with a pencil in it. I can click on that and out pops this little cloud type note. And this is a note about this item. So right now it's got the title up there, Dangerous Instincts. From the article, it said that when exotic animals hit puberty, they are more likely to be aggressive. Okay, so that's just some additional notes to support that particular item of evidence. And I could go through and have the students, they would then go through and add all the evidence. And like I said, in a future demonstration, I will show you DARE if you want to keep on writing. But also, I'll show you how to take this outline that the students have created themselves and put it into Co-Writer Universal so they have all their notes and can begin the writing process. Take care.